Hello, welcome to the channel and thanks for joining me. Got a good one today, folks. We've got a boombox, and for once I actually know what's in here already. So it looks like it's had a few dings, I don't mind telling you. There's quite a significant knock there and also on the other side. And I did notice when I was holding it that it's sliding around a bit in the box. So hopefully there's no damage. Let's have a look. Okay, so we're nearly there, and as you can see, this particular one was bought from a hospice, actually online. And yeah, you find, especially on eBay and places like that, there are a lot of really cool stuff and some amazing things that people very generously leave to raise money for good causes. And obviously, you know, the fact that people can go online and search for them, and also opens things up to a global market as well. So although it puts the prices up in many respects, of course, at the end of the day, that's the end game. And you know, the more that people pay, the more it does raise for good causes. So that's all good stuff, really. Now, I noticed that it did come with its original, and yes, it's a Hitachi cable. So there's a clue, guys, that this is very possibly the original one. However, if that doesn't go to suggest whether it's had a bit of a knock or something, I don't know, because it's literally just had, this is getting into the middle of, well, when the test was done, it was just the middle of October 2023. So at the time of recording anyway, that's only like a week or two ago. And yeah, it's already had quite a knock. If that's happened in transit, which it must have done, I couldn't imagine that would have been let go like that if it's had an electrical safety test on it. So like I say, it may have had a knock, but we shall see. Anyway, the thing about the original cable in there is that it tends to suggest this has been a nice quality unit. So without further ado, as they say, let's have a look at what we've actually got. Okay, not too much packaging really, to be fair, but it looks like it's pretty much survived the trip. So I'm going to bring the camera down for a slightly closer look and we'll see if it works. And there we go. So it's a Hitachi TRK-8080. Now, I've got a bit of a penchant for these things, I've got to admit. I had one originally as part of a consignment quite a while ago, and it was absolutely like new, but just for the fun of it, I decided to recap the entire thing. I think there were 72 electrolytic capacitors in there, and I replaced all of those. And I've got a video on it actually, which I'll be putting together at some point. But the opportunity came up here to get hold of one that was in, let's say, very nice overall condition, but needs a service, or at least that's what I believe. So let's just take a look at it now. As I say, it's a TRK8080. And it's got the inputs, you've got speaker outputs there, and you've got your mic inputs, stereo left and right in the back, and external aerials as well. And I'm just going to see what the state of the battery compartment is. And I've got to say, that looks great in there. There's a fine patina on the springs, but they're okay. And there's a very fine layer of dust in the battery compartment. So that just means it's a genuine machine. Lovely. Okay, so nothing to report on this side. The chrome ends on the handle are lovely, I've got to say. The handle itself doesn't appear to be cracked, and one of the tests I always do, regular viewers will know, is just sort of tap the handle and see if it holds itself in, which tends to suggest it's not really been used very much, not been moved around a lot, put it that way. Also, both the aerials are original. They've got the black tips on the ends as well, which is absolutely lovely. And I won't extend them all the way, but just wanted to see if the ends fall out, and they don't. That's great, and they lock in as well. Perfect. So far so good then. So what have we got here then? We've got a light on the side there. You've got your master function switch, which is for tape, radio and line in. And then we've got your auto frequency control, type 1 and type 2 cassette tapes as well, You've also got things like your mono and stereo, but you've also got a wide mode as well, like a faux stereo or extra wide stereo if you like. And then in terms of the EQ, you've got 2-band EQ effectively. You've got a bass and a treble. You've also got a balance control as well, in addition to a single master volume with a loudness to give it a bit of extra bite at low volume. Your tuning dial is across there, which actuates through the dialing cord onto the needle on the top, and that's working okay. You've got an FM stereo indicator light built in just there, 2 VU meters, so battery strength, tuning strength, and indeed your output levels as well. And in terms of the radio, it's a 4-band, so as I say, you've got your FM with your FM stereo, but you've also got shortwave, medium and long wave. Okay, now there is a master main switch on the side as well, so be mindful about that when you plug it in and nothing happens. Ask me how I know. And the cassette mechanism, let's have a look. Nice. Now there's a really cool ejector mechanism on this. It's basically got like a spinning metal blade, like a fan that kind of slows down the opening, and that's working really nice. Now the buttons themselves, I don't know if they're going to be a bit stiff. Yes they are, but not too bad. Now basically I bought this as the radio is supposed to work and the cassette doesn't, so we'll find that out in a moment. Just wanted to mention also you've got stereo front mounted condenser microphones, and you've got some lovely little speakers here as well. You've got the woofers and you've got your tweeters just there. And I've got to say, these old Hitachi units, they really did get the crossover right as well. The frequencies are beautiful on this. You get a real crystal sort of high end, but you get that lovely sort of the warmth from the bass as well, and the mids from the woofers. Okay, headphone out on the front, and there's your counter with the reset as well, just there. If you want to, you can actually sort of remove the front panel as well, just to get access to the head adjustments and stuff like that. So anyways, let's get this plugged in, see if it works. Okay, so we've now, there we go, great. First up, we've got the power indicator is on, and I'm going to turn the volume down because I don't know what sort of crackly mess we're going to get. Let me just see, just seeing if the light works. It's a bit bright in here to tell. It may or may not, we'll look at that later. Anyway, let's move on to radio and see what happens. Get the aerials up. Okay, well straight away the VU meter worked, so that's telling us that we've got good power, and we'll just try and tune this in.
Everyone's got so much to say.
Okay, I was just whizzing through there and I was getting some stations, but I couldn't seem to get any FM stereo, or at least the light wasn't coming on. Now, it may just be where we are at the moment. The signal's not the best in this room, I've got to be honest, but failing that, we'll take a look in the workshop a bit later in a follow-up video just to see if that's working when we do actually service this. So also just wanted to see if the other wavelengths are picking anything up. So we've got long wave,
humanitarian aid into Gaza. I don't think we're going to get a ceasefire.
okay, medium wave, nothing on there, just silence. So that's going to be that's the switch, I think. We'll come back to that later. Yeah, that's the switch. Alright, so that radio selector switch needs a little bit of a clean, but let's go in. Oh, and also a common issue with these units as well is you'll notice it's on minimum volume and it's still passing some sound. So I'm going to just have a look at the tuning again because I haven't tested the balance yet either. So let's get some conversation. Okay, balance right.
Or that hidden gem with chicken so golden you almost
and balance left.
Almost. Wagamama. Wingstop.
Okay, and I've got equal volume on those two. but also equal frequency response as well. So that's all good. Yeah, so as I was saying, the volume pot on these can be a bit problematic. Sometimes it gets a bit dirty, or some of the solder joints can work a bit loose, and you'll find that it's passing full volume or partial volume even at zero.
Real.
So we'll need to, didn't know if you could hear that then, but it's still passing some volume now, so we'll have a look at that as well. Right, okay, well the radio itself, broadly speaking, is okay. I think we just need to clean the switches and maybe sort the pots out, give them a bit of a clean as well. That volume pot is a little bit scratchy. All right, anyway, let's go on to the tape. Now this bit, I believe, does not work, so here we go. Incidentally, I've already gone ahead and bought a new belt set for this, so we'll be doing this fairly soon, I think. So here we go, press play. Ugh. While the motor's going. Yeah, the motor's going. All right. I can feel that I can turn the capstan manually, and I can feel it's got some decent weight. There's a nice metal flywheel on these, and that is spinning okay. Rewind. And fast forward. Yeah, nothing, as expected. Now, these particular units, I've got to say, the 8080s, the 8190s, those kinds of things, they're quite complicated mechs, and they've got between 4 and 5 different belts on them, depending on the model, and they invariably turn to absolute tar. And most of the time when you're servicing these particular units, they are fairly complicated to get apart, actually, to be fair, until you've kind of done a few, and then you find a way of making it slightly simpler. So I will be showing you all that in a video soon. But what takes most of the time on these, or at least a lot of the time, is actually cleaning the old belt residue off the pulleys, because they are a mess. They get into, onto and around everything, and it's just gross. It takes ages to get all the remnants out from the pulleys and stuff. So as I say, we've got all the belts on order now. Well, actually, they're already here. I do work a lot with Deck Tech to specify belt kits for some of them, the older models, and I've got some of those in already. In fact, I've got 2 of these to do, and I've also got a TRK-8080 to do soon as well. So it's going to be a bit of a Hitachi couple of weeks coming up, I think. Now, please do subscribe, hit the notification bell for updates. Like I say, I've got one of these that's had a full recap and everything else, and that was a massive kind of video effort, as it were, and it's going to take me days, if not weeks, to put that thing together. So in terms of the editing, whereas this one, I bought this one in because I thought overall it's quite a nice example. It needs a strip down, it needs a decent clean and a polish. The switches and that need a bit of a sort out. We'll try and fix the FM stereo if we can. And certainly the cassette mech needs a decent strip down, clean, relube, new belts, head clean, capstan, pinch rollers, maybe azimuth, who knows, all that kind of stuff. So please do subscribe. As I say, stay tuned and look out for my other videos as well. Got loads of old boomboxes, Walkmans, vintage electronic games, 8-track players, all that kind of stuff. Thank you ever so much to existing subscribers for your support. It's always massively appreciated. I shall see you soon, so stay safe. All the best for now. Bye-bye. And yeah, so it's going to be a bit of so it's going to be a bit of a Hitachi couple of weeks coming up, I think.